My name's Tony Hilliard. Continuing on my theme of cooking for bored men during the coronavirus lockdown, I have a recipe to make apple crumble. As mentioned in my first cookery video, I'm no cook, but as this seemed very simple, I thought I would try it. I have to say I'm rather chuffed with the result. As usual, the printed recipe follows during this video, and if you want to copy it down, you can always use the pause button on the bottom left hand corner of the YouTube screen. For those who cannot buy self-raising flour locally, you can always make your own. For example, take 8 ounces or 100 grams of plain flour, add 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder and 1/4 teaspoon of fine salt. For larger quantities, just double it up. So let's get on. First priority, give your hands a really good wash with this coronavirus and general hygiene. This is the recipe typed out, 3 pages. Very simple, even I can do it. And this is what we were trying to achieve. Preset your oven to start with at 210 degrees C. You need 2 pounds or 900 grams of cooking apples. Eight ounces or 200 grams of self-raising flour. 4 ounces of margarine. 4 ounces of brown sugar, this happens to be demerara, 1 ounce of butter, some powdered cloves. You're going to need 1/2 ounce of white granulated sugar and just a teaspoon of lemon juice. First of all, weigh your apples. Then give them a good wash. You don't know where they've been, particularly at the moment. Now, to peel the apples, I'm not sure what variety these were, but they were like peeling wet blotting paper. Once you've got the peel off, you want to cut them into 4 and cut the cores out. These apples started to go brown almost as soon as I'd peeled them, but there's a little solution to that. We'll come to it. There we are. Now you want to cover them, just cover them in cold water. Add our approximately 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. This will stop the apples going brown. Now heat them. They should cook for about 10 minutes. The object is to keep them whole, but just so they're softened. If you poke a knife in them gently, but they're still whole, you're there. Once you turn the heat off, you want to drain as much juice out as you can. If you leave too much juice in, when you put them in the bottom of the pie dish, as you cook them, the topping will sink into it. Not only will it taste odd, but it will look awful. Now you want the apples to cool completely before the next stage. So while they're cooling, you can measure out your 8 ounces or 200 grams of self-raising flour. Through a fine sieve into a large mixing bowl. Now the next stage is we're going to do the margarine. I should have mentioned you want to leave this out at room temperature for a good few hours before you start trying to use it. You'll see why in a minute. Right, I was lucky with this. It was already 4 ounces or 100 grams, pure luck. Now, you want to slice the margarine into the flour. Now, because it's soft and it's been left out, the margarine cuts beautifully. If it's cold, it's a devil. Now, by hand, between your nice clean fingers and thumbs, we're going to mix these together. Just rub them gently together. And the object is to get rid of all the lumps and make sure the margarine has mixed in nicely. When it's a nice fine powder, you know you've done it right. Now you need your 4 ounces or 100 grams of brown sugar. Another reason for using brown sugar, you can see when it's mixed correctly. If you use white sugar, you can't see a thing. Make sure it's thoroughly mixed. Carefully not to break up the apples. Pour them into the pie dish. Level them out nicely. Now you want a little sprinkle of white sugar on there, not too much, otherwise it's far too sweet. Now shake over a little bit of powdered cloves. Don't go mad, just a little taste. Now you want to spread the topping mix, that's the flour and the brown sugar and the margarine, over the top and level it up. And finally, you want to take just an ounce or so of butter and put some little dobs all over it. Beautiful. Now we put the pie dish and the mix into the preheated oven at 210 degrees centigrade. It needs to be about 25-30 minutes, probably nearer 30. This is after about 20 minutes, and this is just before I took it out of the oven. As you can see, it's nicely brown around the edges. Watch it when you take it out. Not only is it extremely hot, but some of these dishes are very slippery. There we are, done. And that's what we tried to achieve in the first place. Looks very nice. I hope you found that of interest. Needless to say, after the apple crumble had cooled a little, it didn't last very long. It was absolutely delicious. This recipe serves 4. To serve 8, just double up on the quantities. You can serve it hot or cold, with vanilla ice cream or with plain cream, depending on your waistline. Until next time, cheerio!